بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Now we will study Mendel's second law. In the previous lesson we studied Mendel's first law, or the law of segregation of factors. Today we will study Mendel's second law. We call it law of segregation of hereditary factors. Okay, this was the first law. The first law is law of the segregation, while the second law we call it the law of independent assortment of hereditary factors. Second law is the law of independent assortment of hereditary factors. I'm sorry for this name, but it is the name of the second law. What is the difference between Mendel's first law and Mendel's second law? In Mendel's second law, Mendel's made an experiment not for one trait only. In the first law, we made copulation between one dominant trait and another recessive trait, only one trait. But in Mendel's second law, Mendel made his experiments for a pair of contrasting traits. For example, we will make experiments about مثلا or on a plant, a pea plant with tall stem, for example, and yellow seed. Tall stem and yellow seed, two dominant traits. And we will copulate this plant with another one with short stem and green seed, two recessive traits, and we will see the result. Okay, the result will be if we make copulation between, for example بقى طيب in the last lesson we expressed one trait by two genes. So to express two traits, how many genes? Yes, يبقى 4 genes. Excellent. To write the copulation between two pea plants, each of them may carry a pair of traits, we will express it by 4 genes like this. Okay, parents. The first parent carries 2 dominant traits. For example, like this: Y capital, pure dominant yellow seed, and tall stem, pure dominant tall stem, T capital. The other individual carries the 2 recessive traits, Y small, and T small, green seed and short stem. The stage of gametes formation, yes, like this. We will take one gamete from 2 each similar gametes. Okay, يعني 1 Y capital and 1 T capital. In the other plant, 1 Y small and another 1 T small, like this. Okay, to find the first generation or family 1 of this plant, we make like this. We will find one individual only, and the other individuals will be similar to this individual. Y capital, Y small, T capital, T small. Now we want to determine the type of the trait will appear. Y capital, Y small, dominant or recessive trait? Yes, hybrid dominant trait. يبقى dominant trait. And T capital, T small, hybrid dominant trait. So all first generation by ratio 100% will carry the 2 dominant trait, yellow seed and tall stem, like Mendel's first law. Now we want to find the result of the second generation. How you can find the gametes? How can you find the gametes of this generation? Like this. We will make a table. Contain about 16 cells. Okay, يعني هنعمل كده يا ولاد. هنا عندي كده هيبقى عندي 1 2 كده 1 2 3 4 هيبقى عندي 4 horizontal rows and 4 okay vertical columns. طيب وبعدين الجاميتس هنا يا ولاد احنا هنطلعها ازاي؟ How can we find the gametes by this method? The first gamete will be first with first here Y capital T capital اهو this The second gamete will be Y capital T small, first with second, like this. The third gamete, small with capital, Y small T capital. And the last one will be Y small and T small. خلاص؟ خلي بالنا كده الواي دي is a small y and this is small. Okay? طيب. For the second individual we have the same type of gametes. أهم Y capital T capital. Okay? We will make copulation between the two individuals from this generation. The gametes of the first one are these gametes. And the gametes of the second one are similar to the first gametes. Because the two parents have the same structure. Y capital T capital, Y capital T small, Y small T capital, and Y small T small. Now, we will make copulation or fertilization between the individuals like this. First with first. Y capital, T capital, T capital. Okay? Now, first with second. The result will be here. First with first, the result will be here. First with second, the result will be here. Y capital, and T capital T small. First with third, like this. Y capital, yes, the result will be here. Y capital, Y small, and T capital, T capital. And first with fourth one. Y capital, Y small, okay, here. This gamete will be Y capital, Y small, and T capital T small, like this, okay? Number 2. Yes, I'm sorry, it will be Y capital, Y type. We can write the result of offspring يا إما يا ولاد horizontally in the first row يا إما vertically in the first column. We can write it by the two methods. In this table, the gametes or the offspring, we will write it for each vertical column. Okay, so like this again, please. يبقى the first gamete with the first one, and we will write the result here. Y capital, T capital, T capital, and first with second. Y capital, T capital, T small. First with third. Y capital, Y small, T capital, T capital. And the first with the last one. Y capital, Y small, T capital, T small. We will transfer to the second gamete. So, this first with first, like this. The result will be Y capital, T capital, and T small. And like this, first with second. Y capital, T small, T small. This with third. هيبقى Y capital, Y small. This is the result. Y capital, Y small, T capital, T small. And this is with the last one. It will be Y capital, Y small, T small, T small. And so on. We will complete the table like this. Now, please. Okay. We want to make like this to make the table, to make good appearance for the table. Okay, now we want to count together how many individual carries the two dominant traits. The two dominant traits. Yes, we will start counting, okay, together. The first individual, okay, I will make a sign on the individual which will carry the two dominant traits. The first one carries the dominant trait, the first dominant trait, and the second dominant trait. All genes are dominant, so it is the first one which carry the two dominant traits. Number 2, the first trait is dominant, and the second one is also dominant, hybrid dominant. So it is individual number 2 which carry the two dominant traits. Number 3, also the first trait is dominant, and the second one, individual number 3. Here, the fourth one which carry the two dominant traits. Okay, capital small, capital small.